Hi guys, welcome to day number 17. So today in this video we are going to discuss about process versus events. So what is a process and what is an event? Event is something you do once, and the process is something you create a system. Means it may be a routine, a schedule that you do regularly. Something event may be like you go to gym once, but the process may be you go to gym regularly for months or days. So in this way, this is event, and a process we discussed as when we need to do the things that are really hard, because an event may be easy for you, but process is mostly the hard part, because you can do something once, but doing it for over time, for months and years, it may be difficult for you if you don't stay motivated until you do that. So we have to focus on the process, because the process can make us what we want it to be, but an event cannot. But events is what makes the process. So you have to repeat the behavior that you want to be, and you have to focus on the process part, not just one event. So focusing on the process part, you can develop any habit, any skill that you want to develop, and it can be anything for you. For example, if you want to be a YouTuber and all of that stuff, first of all you need is speaking, or it may be, if not your voice over or something other like that, then you may not. But if you want your face to be in the video, then you need to show your face and speak confidently. So this way you can't be successful just by doing once. You have to convert it into the process. You have to do it again and again until you make the process and become almost perfect. So the process is the most important thing, and that is what helps you do things for a long time, and which is really a skill that we all must focus on, not just so you have to focus on the process part, because it can make you what you want to be. For example, if you want to build a habit of doing exercises and going to hit the gym regularly, you need to make the process of doing that. You have to do a little things to help you build that habit. For example, you can start from the warm-ups, and then after days by days, when you get your stamina improved, you can little by little increase the exercises and the set routine. You can build that. So in that case, when you do it once, that was event, but when you did it for months and months, you made the process. So you can develop any habit using process. You have to just focus on that part. You just don't need to think like, I will just read this and that. Just you have to make a process for doing that. For example, if you want to read 20 books, you can't do this only by event. You have to read consistently books, and you have to make a process, like you will read for 30 minutes and all that, 30 minutes every single day. Then you make that process successful. That will help you do those things easily, because when we want to when we think like, I want to read this book and I will read it in a one short. That was not the thing. You have to build a process, for example. And when you make a process, like for example, if you want to read this book at once, that will not help you much. But if you read it in parts, like 30 minutes a day, you will learn and apply those rules or things in your life more than when you do it in a single time. And when you try to do it in a single shot, in one shot, it becomes harder for you, and you try to procrastinate on those things that feels harder to you. So when you make a schedule, make a routine of reading 30 minutes for daily, you can do it easily. For example, you can read 30 minutes in around 20 minutes for average 15 pages. Then how many pages are in that book? For example, let's say 300. Then how many days will you take to read that book? You can divide that 300 by 15, 20 days. You will take 20 days to read that whole book. But if you want to read it in one, then how much time will you take? 15, like 30 into 20. 600 hours means 600 hours mean 10 days. Did I do something wrong? I think so. I have forgotten much. I have to calculate that. 15 pages, 300 pages. 15 pages per day, but you have 300 pages. So how many days? 300 by 15. You will take 20 days to read that whole book. And if you want to read it once in a one shot, it will take one page takes 2 minutes into 300. You will take 600 minutes. Oh, that's minute. Then it will take 10 hours. It will take 10 hours to do that. That was not like 20, not like 10 days. That was 10 hours. So 10 hours in one shot. Although you may, if you have practice, you can do that, but that becomes harder for you to do that. So when you make a process like reading 30 minutes a day, it will become easy for you, and you can develop the habit of doing that easily. So this is for today's video. You have to make the process rather than making events, and you have to do it event by event. Means many events create a process. So you have to focus on the process part, not just one event and all of that. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and meet me tomorrow. Thank you so much again.